Welcome back to my channel, Trash to Teach.
I deleted myself from big tech for 30 days. Here's what actually happened. Every search you make, every email you send, every photo you back up, every question you ask an AI, all of it. Going through a handful of companies that build a profile of you to sell ads against. So I gave myself 30 days and one rule. Replace every single one of those services with something free, open source, and private. And actually live with it. Not a weekend experiment. A full month, daily driver, no cheating back to the old apps when things got annoying. This is everything that broke, everything that worked way better than I expected, and the exact free setup so you can do this yourself in a weekend, not a month. The rules, before we get into it, here's exactly what I allowed and didn't allow, because the rules matter for this to mean anything. Rule 1. Every replacement had to be free. No paid subscriptions, no free trial, then $12 a month tools, genuinely free or open source. Rule 2. No going back to the old app, just this once. If Gmail was replaced, Gmail was closed for the full 30 days, inbox and all. Rule 3. The replacement had to actually do the job, not just claim to. If it couldn't handle real daily use, it doesn't count as a real replacement. It's a demo. 6 categories total. Search and browser, email, cloud storage, AI assistant, messaging, and the hardest one, the phone's operating system itself, which we'll get to near the end. Week 1. Search and browser day 1. First thing I did was switch my default search engine and browser. This is genuinely the easiest swap on this entire list, and if you do nothing else from this video, do this one. The search engine I used doesn't log your searches, doesn't build an ad profile, and doesn't follow you across the web. The honest trade-off, for extremely obscure or hyper-local searches, results were occasionally a step behind what I was used to. For 95% of daily searches, recipes, tech questions, news, shopping research, genuinely no difference I noticed after the first few days. The browser swap mattered more than I expected. A privacy-respecting browser with built-in tracker blocking showed me, in real time, how many trackers were being blocked per page. Some news sites were running 20+ trackers before I even finished loading the article. Seeing that number every single day for a month is honestly the most eye-opening part of this whole challenge. Bookmarks synced fine, extensions worked, developer tools worked. This one has zero real downside once you're set up. It took about 10 minutes.
Week 1, continued. Email. Email was the first genuinely uncomfortable swap. I'd used the same big tech email address for over a decade. It's tied to every account, every login recovery, every newsletter. I moved to an end-to-end encrypted email provider with a solid free tier. The immediate difference, no ads reading your inbox to target you, and messages between users of the same encrypted service are fully end-to-end encrypted by default.
The actual migration took the better part of a weekend, not because the new email was hard to use, but because I had to go through every account I owned and update the recovery address. Banking, work logins, old shopping accounts I'd forgotten existed. That part isn't the new tool's fault. That's just how deeply embedded a decade-old email address gets into your digital life. Worth knowing before you commit to this swap. Practical tip that saved me. I set up temporary auto-forwarding from my old email to the new one for the first month, so nothing important slipped through the cracks during the switch. By day 7, the new inbox felt completely normal. The only friction, a couple of services still don't play perfectly with non-mainstream email providers during sign-up. Rare, but it happened twice. Week 2. Cloud storage, self-hosted. This was the most technical swap, and the one I was most nervous about. Instead of paying a big tech company monthly to store my files on their servers, I self-hosted my own cloud storage on a small home server. The core idea. Your photos, documents, and backups live on hardware you physically own, sitting in your own home, accessible from your phone and laptop through an encrypted connection, but never sitting on someone else's commercial server being scanned or indexed. The mobile app auto-uploaded photos in the background exactly like the big tech apps do. That seamless just works feeling was the thing I was most worried wouldn't translate, and it did. The honest downside, and I want to be direct about this, you are now responsible for backups, uptime, and security patches. If your home internet goes down, remote access goes down with it, unless you've set up something more resilient. This is the one swap in this whole challenge that isn't a drop-in replacement for someone who wants zero maintenance. It's a genuine trade-off of convenience for control and privacy. For most people watching this, I'd actually recommend starting here as a side setup before fully committing, rather than deleting the big tech account outright on day 1. Week 3. AI Assistant, Local Offline. This was the swap I got asked about the most before even starting the challenge. Could a local AI assistant actually replace a mainstream cloud AI chatbot for daily use? Running an AI model locally means every conversation happens entirely on your own computer. No account, no server round trip, no company reviewing your conversations. It also means it works completely offline. I tested this on a flight with no Wi-Fi, and it worked exactly the same. Honest comparison, for everyday tasks, drafting emails, summarizing text, brainstorming, basic coding help, the gap was smaller than I expected, especially running a mid-sized model on decent hardware. For deep, highly specialized reasoning or the very latest world knowledge, cloud-based assistants still had an edge. That's the real, honest trade-off, not marketing spin either direction. The other side of that trade-off, zero subscription cost ever, no usage limits, no rate throttling during peak hours. Once it's set up, it's genuinely set and forget. Week 3. Continued. Messaging turned out to be the hardest social swap, not a technical one. The privacy and encryption of the alternative app is genuinely excellent. Open source, end-to-end, encrypted by default, no ads, no data harvesting. The problem? Almost nobody else in my life was using it. This is the one category in this entire challenge where the tool itself was flawless and the friction was entirely social. I ended up running both apps side by side for family group chats that refused to move, while using the private app for every new conversation and every close friend willing to switch. If you're doing this yourself, this is the swap to expect the most resistance on, not from the software, from the people around you. Week 4. What actually broke. Let's be honest about the failures, because a video that pretends everything was perfect isn't useful to you. 2 real breakages. A banking app's account recovery flow assumed I still had access to my old email for a security step, which I had to call support to fix. And one work collaboration tool's single sign-on only supported logging in through a big tech account. No workaround, no alternative, so that one account had to stay. Everything else, search, browsing, personal email, cloud storage, AI assistant use, and 80% of messaging, worked as a genuine full replacement by the end of the month, no asterisks. The final verdict, so, would I actually recommend doing this? Broken down honestly by category, search and browser. Absolutely, do this today, there's no real downside. Email, yes, but budget a weekend for the account migration headache, not because the new tool is hard. Cloud storage. Yes, if you're even slightly comfortable with basic hardware setup. Otherwise, it's the one place I'd say ease into it slowly. Local AI. Yes, especially if privacy matters to you more than having the absolute newest model available. Messaging. Yes for you, but expect to run 2 apps for a while until the people around you catch up. 30 days in, I kept every single one of these swaps. Not because I'm militant about privacy, because category by category, they simply worked as well or better than what I was using before, minus the constant background feeling of being tracked. How to start this yourself. If you want to try this without diving in head first, here's the realistic order to do it in. Start with search and browser this week. It's a 10-minute change with zero downside. Move email over the following weekend. Everything else, take one category at a time, at your own pace. I've got full setup walkthroughs for each of these individually on the channel already. Links are in the pinned comment so you're not hunting for them. Thanks for watching this one. It took longer to make than almost anything on this channel, and I think it's worth it. See you in the next video.